Hello and welcome to another Lord of the Rings video. This time we'll be talking about the Hobbit movies as movies. We did the Hobbit as adaptations of the book last Wednesday. You can check that out on the channel. I will be putting all of this into a playlist once we get finished with talking about the Lord of the Rings. Anyway, I need to start bringing in my guests. First off, I need to bring in a regular on this show. Please welcome good friend Tarek.
我が力、我が刃、我が狂気、我が狂気をもて見解せよ。エクスはーうがけエクスプロージョン。
Good afternoon, everyone. You there, Don?
Yep, I am there.
Okay.
Yep. I just needed to. The bot's being dumb, so I had to put it in manually.
Right.
Okay, so we also have Johan. Please let the bomb rip.
Hey, what do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Aye. This is gonna be fun, I will tell you that.
Yeah, it is.
Because I have a lot to say. So yeah, it's good to be on. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Nice. We also have our good friend Adristia von Lustra. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize if I am not, but anyway, here he is.
My old enemy. You cannot hide from me.
I guess third time is not the charm when it comes to getting names right.
What? How do you pronounce your name?
Yeah, you can see the chat in StreamYard, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just pronounce it there.
Why don't you say it?
Just say it out loud. It's so easier.
Hmm.
Alright. Ooh. Ah.
So this is kind of just the format that we're going to be going on. Well, to say some welcomes. Hello, welcome in the chat. Welcome, Becca. Johan, thank you for providing us with viewership. Hi, Dunkelzan. Hi, Criminal Imagination. Always a pleasure.
Becca, you can't be using that word. That's our word.
No, it's Star Wars. That's Star Wars girl's word. It's on her Twitter. It's on her Twitter description or Feel the Wrath. I think it's I can't remember what it is, but it's something or Feel the Wrath of the Troll and you feel the wrath of the Hobbit or something.
Yeah, it's Feel the Wrath of the Hobbit.
I thought it was Feel the Wrath of the Trolls, maybe. That's also a really good slogan nowadays.
Well, part of it is like Anna's tiny. She's like 5'1", 5'2", something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait,
like
really?
she's like, yeah,
Yeah.
she's short.
That's tiny. That's short.
Yeah,
She is really short, yeah.
Yeah, I think I know like Mahler and I think it was Robot had said that they're like 6'5", 6'6"-ish.
Done.
Wow.
Done. Don't have anyone fuck with me, man. I'm fucking jacked.
Yeah. So, yeah, I would love to show you guys the Merry Mayhem Mahler stream where she just fangirls over Mahler for several hours.
Yeah, I think I've seen a part of that. That was the impregnate with my voice one, right?
It's one. That's part of it, but she remarks, "I wonder what sex with Mahler is like. I bet it's amazing."
Well, I can imagine.
Yeah, I actually timestamped every single. I watched the whole stream and timestamped every single moment where like she fangasms over his voice.
Well, everybody
he does have a very fangasmy voice. So
Yeah.
Well,
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen.
But I must say though, everybody has their own, drives upon, being totally out of control when it comes to certain things. Like, I have it when I am like, hot up when I think always out loud. So every single thing that I say is always honest, but it could be rude. Which gets me
Yeah.
always in trouble.
Yeah. So, in terms of formatting, we can kind of say this is kind of the format we'll follow with all of them. What are the stronger elements? What might be entertaining but kind of dumb? But then what are kind of the less cohesive bits, the stuff that really does not work? Sound like a good plan? That way we kind of,
Sure.
that way we kind of don't go into very much like a gush rant mode. We kind of like have a measured discussion of like what kind of doesn't necessarily work. So with Unexpected Journey, it definitely has a bad tone problem. But we'll get to that in a bit. I think that in terms of the stronger elements, the visuals and the acting are very good, and the dialogue is fairly strong. And I do think that Thorin Oakenshield and Bilbo are kind of the standouts in terms of characters and performance. Though there is an element of Thorin being very Aragornified.
Yes, there is, absolutely.
Within the first movie, I can kind of see that, yeah.
Yeah, true. Upon that part.
Like
yes.
I think that kind of goes away as the movies go on, like, especially in the third one, like, especially there.
Yeah.
Oh, I think the problem with how the movies handled Thorin is that they start off by making him more like Aragorn and less like Boromir, even though it makes the whole corruption thing a bit harder to swallow because it's not made clear exactly what it is made clear why, but it seems kind of jarring.
It's abrupt.
The main thing is like the whole corruption with him. I felt like it was sudden, not like progressive for me, then at least. Like once he went to the throne room, only then he was corrupt. It was like, what? All right, so he was not really at the first. All right, but
yeah. But I guess like so in terms of like Unexpected Journey, what would you say are like the better elements of it?
I must say the arrival of the dwarves in Bilbo's house was actually quite fun. That was actually really well done.
I have to say, like, when they actually started to sing in the Unexpected Journey, it really was kind of delightful. Blunt the Knives is kind of a showstopper, I'd say, just because of what they're doing. And what I would also like to point out too, and this is, I think, one of Hobbit's strongest aspects, is that in Lord of the Rings, as the series as a whole, the books and the movies, you get a good idea of what elf culture is like and what human culture is like. But Hobbit does a really good job of distinguishing how the dwarves are different from the elves and the humans and the hobbits. Like, we don't really get to see much of them, so we get to see their society now.
We don't really get to see dwarven society, period, in many fantasy novels.
That is true, yeah.
Even in the Tolkien Legendarium, we mostly have the dwarves in The Hobbit and the elves in the Silmarillion, if anything.
They had to put the Christmas event in World of Warcraft in Ironforge just so the dwarves had something to do. Otherwise, that place is abandoned.
Wow, really?
Yeah, really.
Dang.
But yeah,
Um,
it definitely the Hobbit, the unsuspected journey. I must say, yeah, the culture aspect of the dwarves is really shown, and how they behave and how it is different from other cultures. That's true.
And like I said, like one of my favorite scenes is actually when Feely, I think it was the guy in the stupid hat. Feely, I believe it was. When he
No, that's Bofer.
with that stupid Swedish hat, the one with like the tassels.
Yeah, the
Bofer.
guy who talks to Bilbo about homesickness.
I
Beaufort?
get. I
Beaufort.
guess.
That's
That one's
Bofer, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, the part where they're all bitching about the elf music and he jumps up on the table and starts singing. That was fucking great.
Yeah, that was really funny. Where it's just there's an imperial in beneath the old grey hill, and there they brew the beer so brown. The man in the moon himself came down one night to drink his fill.
That was a great moment. I stayed for that, but I had to leave after. I at least wanted to see that.
Yeah, I think with Unexpected Journey, like it's kind of stretched thin a little bit. That might be
Yeah.
a big problem. That could be said. We're kind of jumping a little bit all over the place in terms of like analyzing it, but it's kind of difficult because a lot of like the like not very good elements are kind of woven in with the better elements, and some of the good elements are kind of watered down a bit by the length.
Yeah.
Right.
Like how long is the prologue? 10 minutes? Feels like 10 minutes.
I believe it is 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah,
10 minutes for prologue? Damn.
yeah, the one where they show Erebor falling. I mean, the thing is that didn't really need to be there.
Except it kind of set the scene in a way. And not only that, but you got to remember it's Bilbo writing the book, so he's hearing about it secondhand.
Yeah, but the thing is, you didn't need to put that at the beginning. You could probably cut out the Azog story and replace it with this.
I don't know.
Azog is kind of an interesting combination of elements, both good and bad, because they wanted to have an antagonist who is chasing them throughout, but the thing is, he's not a very interesting character. He's just an orc.
Yeah.
Well, he's just a brute who wants to murder people and dwarves, so
Yeah.
He wants to murder Thorin because he cut off his hand, and that's pretty much the extent of his contribution.
He's not
Yeah.
also not really. He's like really smart, but
He's not that smart. There's
yeah,
a lot of
exactly.
intelligence sometimes question mark.
Yep. But yeah, he's well, I don't know. He's a little bit forgettable
He
at
he-
signs.
he is strangely obsessed with this one fucking dwarf. Like Sauron is making his grand return. He's making his comeback to war, and yet he's still only focused on killing Thorin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is kind of like okay, cool. It's kind of a double-edged sword because you have an antagonist who's chasing them, but he's not terribly intimidating, I guess.
Not really, no.
You should have made him a battle.
I like the mocap performance, but the character himself doesn't even look threatening.
No,
No, he
he's
doesn't.
he's built like the proverbial brick outhouse, but there's not much to him beyond stereotypical bad guy. There is kind of that interesting gimmick of like all the orcs and the Hobbit speak in black speech. At least like Azog's faction and do, but Yeah,
Wait,
indeed.
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So Thorin is Jar Jar.
But I must say, like, they could have made him a better inspiring leader, or giving him like field commands and giving like scouts reporting back to him where they have been lost seeing them. He's not very leadership worthy because of all the. He's just strong. That's it. It's like,
Well, might makes right, I think, especially in orc cultures, even in Tolkien's.
yeah, but at least give him then at least some more smartness towards it, because oh my god. Ugh.
Yeah, I can kind of understand why he is the leader of the orcs, but he's not a very good one.
No.
Even the guy who sieged Minas Tirith, just the guy who just spits at the rock like fuck you, you missed. That guy was way more intimidating.
Oh, Gothmog?
Yeah.
Gothmog is.
That guy was like, oh no, bomb, rock. Pfft, you missed, you fuck.
that part's really great. But yeah, there's kind of unexpected journey. I think I guess the kind of everybody. I think like pretty universal to say that like everybody agrees that the what is it the Rills in the Dark scene is the best scene in the movie, and I would agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Mostly because it's like done verbatim from the books. And I think that Martin Freeman, like, what are your guys'? So Martin Freeman as Bilbo, I think that he does a good job. There are some people that say, no, he's kind of a. I actually watched a David Stewart video about why the Hobbits suck, and he kind of mentioned that Bilbo's supposed to be this happy optimist, and he hates this version of Bilbo because he's a kind of down, kind of sad all the time. I'm nervous and fidgety. I don't fully agree with that. I don't fully agree with David Stewart on a lot of things. Like, he says that Jordan Kreth is a Mary Sue. I disagree with that fundamentally because Jordan Kreth is psychopathic, and very rarely a Mary Sue is psychopathic.
Actually, that's actually more interesting. What if you did have a Mary Sue who was completely psychopathic?
Yeah.
Then you just have a bad villain.
Yeah.
You have a villain Sue.
Oh
Yeah.
no, not a villain Sue. Not that thing again.
Yeah.
Yeah, Martin Freeman as Bilbo, I'm quite fond of the whole. It's almost improv. He comes across as remarkably natural for a guy who's lived his whole life in comfort and then gets thrust into this weird journey.
Mm-hmm.
Now, from what I've heard, that's basically all of Martin Freeman's performances, but
pretty much, yeah. He kind of plays himself in pretty much every role he's in of late.
Yeah, but I haven't seen him in anything else, so it doesn't bother me too much.
I've seen him in Sherlock and Black Panther, and
wait, he's in those two? Okay, well, I didn't know.
Yeah, he's he's one of the two Tolkien white guys in Black Panther. The other one being our
Claw.
Claw. Yeah.
Andy Serkis, yeah.
Yeah, good old Andy Serkis. I do think that one thing that we have in terms of the movie that does work well is, I guess, the arc between Thorin and Bilbo, but the problem then becomes this. There is no really big development between movies 1 and movie 2, and it kind of just abruptly reaches its falling out point in 3. What are your thoughts?
That's true.
Well, yeah, I agree with the first one, and I would also like to add that it comes way too quickly in the first movie, but also it comes for the wrong reason. Like Thorin gains respect for Bilbo because he runs into an orc who's about to execute him, not because he, cleverly hides them in the barrels and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Especially when you consider that Bilbo is supposed to be the burglar, not the fighter.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like, I know this is gonna sound weird, but maybe it's because I didn't catch all of the Unexpected Journey when we watched it. Feels like what happens is it's more like a parabola where Thorn doesn't like Bilbo at first, and then halfway through Desolation of Smog, that's the height of his respect for him. But then when they finally encounter Smog and everything starts to go to shit, Thorn gradually loses respect for him again until he dies. Like, just because he doesn't feel Bilbo's living up to the expectation anymore, and then he steals the Arkenstone.
I mean, they kind of undercut that by having Thorin trust Bilbo more than all of the dwarves.
That's true.
Yeah, because he gives, like he just says, like it seems like Bilbo's his confidant for some reason in Battle of the Five Armies initially.
Yeah.
Like, it's only like when like he says, "I stole the Arkenstone."
Then a big gasp comes in and be like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah. Yeah. I think in terms of the weaker, I think that some of the action in Unexpected Journey is very fillery, like the battle of the the giants in the mountains is just like, why is this here?
Because it is cool and epic. Ooh, ooh. That's it.
Yeah, I suppose.
The thing is, you didn't even need to involve the party in that. You could have just had, okay, these giants are tossing giant boulders at each other. We got to find shelter really quick, and then they do. You don't need this. You don't need.
You could have just had a thunderstorm or something.
Yeah, you don't need this video game scene where you have to climb up their legs and they get smashed into the mountainside, but they're fine.
And leaping around like it's I think like video game is definitely
press X, fast, go.
Yeah. And also like the warg chase earlier in the movie.
Ugh, I hated those things.
That's definitely unnecessary.
Yeah, where you have Radagast the Brown outrunning people with a rabbit sled. It's just kind of just like.
By the way, what these movies do to Radagast the Brown is unacceptable.
I still don't understand why they made him the way they did. Like, you'd think a wizard would have more decorum, regardless of like where he's been.
Yeah,
he's that goofy guy who smoked too much weed
and has bird poo on his face.
Yeah,
well, no,
I was like, what the hell is that for
shrooms? He does shrooms, not weed. That's Gandalf's thing.
You are right. The man is probably high as a kite throughout the entire series. No wonder he loves the earth.
No wonder that he uses a lot of rabbits as a sled.
Yeah, it's a hideous scene. These are Ruscabel rabbits. I'd like to see them try.
So stupid.
You'd think the warg would be the natural predator to these damn things.
Technically, that wargs actually can outrun the horses in, I believe it was in not in Helm's Deep. Before they went to Helm's Deep, they had an encounter with these wargs, and the wargs actually were really, really scary to horses. And those wargs were really cool looking, and then you have these wargs of the Hobbit, and they look like fucking naked dogs. Ugh.
Oh, Well, I think like they went for a more literal wolf design in the Hobbit trilogy, and kind of just going with kind of there's different breeds of dogs all over the place.
But I like the hyena design. It
Yeah.
looked way cooler.
Yeah, it kind of does, but yeah. I think the funniest thing that we saw was actually in the extended edition of Battle of the Five Armies, where where like, well, I think like at one point you have an orc who is like legs are turned to paste,
Oh yeah.
and just he's walking around on the stump.
Ugh.
Lovely.
Or when like the wargs are attacking them, like you saw it in all the trailers, but you don't see it in the theatrical. You only see it in the extended. And then
Wait, they used it in the trailer and they didn't show. Oh, for fuck's sake!
yeah,
That's bullshit. That's mean.
yeah, they also have like bits with like the dwarven goats riding into battle. Battle on like a giant goat cavalry charge that only shows up in the extended edition.
Wow.
Yeah, the trailers for the Hobbit movies are kind of like, this is not in the movie, or sometimes this isn't even in the extended edition. What gives?
Also, I don't know if you guys notice it, but for instance, I don't know if Bart was the guy that was also in the Unexpected Journey at the beginning. I believe so, right? Bart was there, right? To shoot the dragon.
The actor playing Bard was there as his own great-great-grandpa.
Yeah, Luke Evans played Perion of Dale.
The main problem I had with Bart most of the times was, he was kind of forgettable. It was like, is he a hero or what was he? It's just a guy who needs to have the plot armor to shoot down Smog. Wow.
Yeah.
He didn't feel like a hero.
Anything to discuss about Unexpected Journey, because it seems like mostly we don't really have that much to discuss about Unexpected Journey.
Well, the humor was okay. That's for sure.
Humor's fine. Yeah, I think
except for the part with the farting fucking trolls.
Yeah, the trolls. Oh, the trolls. The trolls is bad. The trolls is
that
pretty
was weird.
Bad.
Well, I must say they actually portrayed trolls really well. Stupid as fuck.
Yeah, trolls in mythology are really stupid.
Yeah,
a lot of the time.
But it kind of just goes into like booger and fart jokes, which is
But you need to cook them better. You need to cook them. You need to spice them up. What? Are you fucking kidding?
Yeah.
They're all ill and sick. They have maggots.
We have parasites. I got parasites as big as my arm. We do not have parasites. Just Thor kicks him as like, we have lots of parasites.
Yeah, I think we should probably mention that Unexpected Journey really introduced the trend of The Hobbit trying to be like Lord of the Rings to its detriment.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is definitely true. They really, really wanted it to be Lord of the Rings, and they put in a lot of cameos. At least 2 to 3, no 4. Since you include Saruman, who has I think it's the funniest line in the movie, but it definitely shouldn't be there, and that is, it's not that. It's his excessive consumption of mushrooms.
Even he admits it that he is addicted. Oh my god!
It's just like, do not speak to me of Radagast the Brown. He is a foolish fellow. Oh, I admit he's odd. He lives a solitary life. It's not that. It's his excessive consumption of mushrooms. They've addled his mind and yellowed his teeth.
Pretty sure your teeth are very yellow, Saruman. You don't need to talk.
True, but that's mostly because our good friend Christopher Lee is 93 years old. Yeah.
I miss Saruman. He was a real good guy.
Yeah. Good guy? I don't think so. Good
Yeah, but
character?
you get
Yeah.
the point. You get
Yeah.
the point.
Yeah. Yeah. I think with the
Well, they did a good foreshadowing of Saruman being corrupted by, the ring, by the rings,
I would concur with that. Yeah, he can. He honestly could. Yeah. I concur with that. Yeah. He totally could, and it would still sound good.
I mean, Charles Dance was able to read 50 Shades of Grey and make it sound interesting. So yeah, Christopher Lee could definitely pull it off.
Wait, that's a thing? Wow, I did not know.
Charles Dance has a reading of 50 Shades of Grey, or part of it. We should probably watch that.
That would be amazing. Yeah. But yeah, let's move to the Desolation of Smog. This is kind of where some of the problems set in. I think that overall this is the weakest one of the trilogy. It's got some good moments, but the thing that is there, unfortunately, is the fact that there's the action is a combination of cartoony and stupid. If it had a lot of
Yes, there is a lot of cartoony business there, and it felt odd, coming from Lord of the Rings and seeing the first movie and then seeing this. I don't know, lots of.
To be fair, Lord of the Rings has never been quite realistic with its action, but it's never been over the top like this.
Yeah, like the barrel scene. I enjoy the barrel scene. I think it's fun, but it's just this is kind of absurd. I love it, but it's absurd.
It takes really long. The barrel scene also. It takes I don't know, 15 minutes or something of screen time.
I think it's 10 minutes. Yeah, it takes a while, and it's kind of just it's at some point this guy Thor. I think it's either Dwalin or Thorin throws an axe and nails an orc to a log with an axe.
Yeah, I think it's Dwalin.
Yeah, it's just okay, that's kind of awesome, but it's just I don't think things work that way. Yeah. But I guess Tarek, what are your thoughts?
I enjoyed Desolation of Smog. I enjoyed that river ride. I want to see that on Universal, at a Universal theme park.
I would as well, to be perfectly honest.
I mean, for God's sake, Legolas is jumping on those orcs like they're goddamn Goombas.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's true.
I also like Smaug's design. I enjoyed what was it? I enjoyed the treasure room because Jesus Christ, that was great.
Yeah, there's so much frickin' gold in there that would probably crash the economy as soon as it enters into the wild.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah. And I think that in terms of there's more fun action in Desolation of Smog than there is in Unexpected Journey. Unexpected Journey kind of takes a long time to get going. But it's kind of stretched. The only part that slows down in Desolation is when we go to Lake Town.
You mean Lake Town? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what I want to say about it, but I really don't want to watch, the whole Bard storylines of, I rather want to watch, just the dwarves itself, and it felt a little bit of out of position, I don't know.
I can appreciate giving Bard some extra screen time, because in the book he is basically just an ascended extra when Smaug arrives to burn the entire town down. But his entire story is not very interesting, and it doesn't really have any conclusive ending.
It's almost non-existent, his story, even in the movie, I believe. Ugh.
Yeah, he kind of is just there to kill the dragon, and the weirdest part is they set up the giant ballista, but they don't really use it.
No, because he kills it by using his son,
A makeshift ballista using his son.
which is really unbelievable. Trust me. But I rather wanted to have Smoke die in gold, dying of drowning by the gold and Creed himself. That would have been a way better ending, I believe.
That is a good possibility, honestly. I think it would have really pissed off book fans, though.
True.
A lot.
But it would have created a far more interesting ending than Then you also could just throw away Bard's whole story, which then makes the whole thing of the Hobbit being about Bilbo and the dwarves, which now it has been shifted to Bard, Bilbo, and dwarves, and that
and the Elves.
Yes, and that makes me like, it's about the journey. It's not about the other people that. Yeah, I don't know. It felt off. Yeah. I get it why you do it, but still, ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the main problem with this whole try to be Lord of the Rings thing is that The Hobbit is a story about Bilbo, and it should be a story about Bilbo.
Yeah.
Yes. That is arguable.
Love triangles with Legos.
That is arguably the worst part of this whole series. I think I honestly am happier with so Smaug in the book is killed by shooting a magic arrow at a weak spot in Smaug's armor.
Yes. And also in the movies he dies because of the weak spot in his armor.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But yeah, you know what a story needs? Love triangles. Every single time.
Yeah. It's so shoehorned in.
It's so unnecessary.
Yeah.
These movies are bloated enough as it is. You don't need any love story. Especially considering that Evangeline Lilly didn't want it.
Yeah, I don't want it.
I don't want it.
I don't need it, my queen. My queen.
It's my overlord.
I felt so those relationships were so damn forced that I was like, oh my god, the cringe. Why didn't they just give them just oh yeah, he has a wife at home and he dies, and thinking about his wife at the last step, that would have been way better than thinking about now. No, I cannot live without that. No.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you could just relegate Legolas to the background and have Thranduil be the only significant elf character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legolas was only there to get Argon into the story.
Proto Raylo fans.
At least this is the one thing that I can say about this is that at least it is not Raylo. At least it's not Raylo.
At least it's not a toxic, abusive piece of shit.
Yeah. It's just.
At least it's not a crybaby.
Yeah. I do think that like I like a lot of. I kind of wish that we had more movies like Desolation of Smog because they're much preferable to this. They're much preferable to what we have now.
Now.
You mean Star Wars? Yeah, definitely.
I-
Star Wars.
I mean, nowadays it's The Rise of Skywalker, Dark Phoenix, New Mutants, Wonder Woman 84. Zack Snyder's Justice League is coming up, and that's probably gonna be shit.
Also, Punisher without punishing people. I don't know. Fuck it.
It's not movies, but the High Republic.
Oh yeah, the High
Yes.
Republic. That's not looking good either.
Lord, done. I have seen those, comics, and oh my god, what the fuck did they do? The Starlight Beacon.
Yeah.
You guys should read the Legacy comics from the expanded universe instead.
Those are good. I enjoy those.
Nah.
Don't
Yeah,
forget.
I'm reading them now.
Don't forget the comic about fart jokes of Star Wars.
Oh wait, which one was that again? Wasn't that the one in the new canon?
It was a
So-
fart joke when they were at a wedding.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
know about
yeah.
this one.
So this kind of goes through all three movies, but what are your guys' thoughts on the inclusion of the White Council?
I don't mind that. That actually is logical that there is a White Council. True. So I don't mind it. It was decent. It was good for the story, at least.
I thought it was fine. Yeah.
I thought conceptually I think it's fine, but the way they handle it and the way they change not exactly what's in the book, but what's in the appendices about how exactly all this happened really does not sit well with me.
Mm.
Particularly the goofy, over-the-top Faust ring wraiths that look like dragon priests in the third movie. Yeah,
I forgot about that.
it's really wonky. Like if you haven't seen it in a while, it's on YouTube. It looks really bad.
The main problem is like, why didn't they use like real ring rates? The real ring rates looks instead of these dragon priests cult people from Skyrim. Or not
really
use
The thing
at
is,
all.
they didn't. The thing is, by the Hobbit time frame in the books, they were already pretty sure that something was happening in Dol Guldur. So it was basically just, okay, we're set. We're gonna go in there. We're gonna drive out the necromancer, and then there's a very Sauron doesn't put up much of a fight in the appendices. He just sort of puts up this limp-wristed little flicker, and then he runs away.
Could you not just give already rise to the raids and be like, oh right, they the tombs have been opened. That would have been
part.
already enough. You don't have to have an entire fight with ghosts. That would make it a
That
little bit confusing.
that also kind of bugs me because it's definitely like that's not the Witch King's backstory.
Yeah, no, it's
Not at
not.
all.
Like the Witch King, and also kind of it's weird because it just says no man can kill me. It's
Technically,
kind
you are talking about the sword that actually she wielded that killed him, and that thing was actually magical. But alright, well fine.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think
I need
it's just strange that just the Witch King's a lie. He's dead and kills. He wins in Arnor. He whoops them really bad.
Yep.
And then he escapes after he's done his job. And Gondor turns on him, and then he kills the last king of Gondor in single combat.
Nice.
So
Yeah, they don't even They don't even make that much note of the Witch King in the third movie. Like, he's just a random ring wraith.
Yeah, indeed. He's just, a nobody, and that's like, why? That guy was the fucking super duper uper duper uber villain. I don't know. I need to have a little stretch on that word. He was cool, He was a cool fucking dude, which, when people get hit, they got cursed.
Yeah, the only thing that they really like draw attention to is just they find his knife. They steal his knife, which kind of makes me ask the question, how'd that knife get back to him?
Yes. That's one of the biggest, weirdest continuity hurdles in the entire film saga.
Well, you could just say, you can go for force Skyping, and then, you have the item in your hand.
So Saruman took custody of the knife and then force teleported it to the Witch King.
Exactly. He knew where the knife was, so he force Skyped with Gandalf, and then he took the knife and then gave it back to the Great Tree.
Well, I was thinking like, or maybe just like, I guess like this is my head. This is totally headcanon. This is totally not what happens. But I guess like when the ring wraiths passed by Isengard, he says, "Hey, here's your knife." He's like, "Oh, I've been looking for that for 60 years. Thank you."
Don't mind if I do. Or Saruman. Sauron promised Saruman, the power, and then he was like, "Well, I have this knife laying around. Yeah, here you go. Right here you go, here you go, Witch King. Here you go. Yep. No takesy backsies, all right?
No harm, no foul. Here you go. Yeah, it kind of feels like we're ragging on these movies a little bit because like it's just kind of there's a lot of there's some good stuff here. Like I think like the action and the acting are really good. It's just that there are kind of a slow kind of pressure of the various problems just slowly kind of creep up and add up.
Yeah, I like the Bilbo Smog conversation, but it's sort of, I don't know. The whole Bilbo taking his ring off is supposed to add to the tension, but you don't really need that, especially when you have this weird scene where he goes sliding down the gold, and then that's followed by a really absurd, stupid action sequence.
That is entertaining, but it's just like, this does not make any sense. Like when Thorn is balanced on Smaug's nose like he's a cookie.
Literally everyone in the party should have been crisped 12 times over.
You mean the part where they're staying behind the pillars and those pillars would have turned to ash? Well, they would have turned to ash.
Yeah.
I don't know about not ash, since they're made of rock.
Well, no, not them. I'm talking I'm talking about even if they were behind it, the heat should have incinerated their skin.
Well, not incinerate, but at least fully charcoaled. Yeah, that definitely.
They're like what happened to the Lannister soldiers in season 7 should have happened to like the dwarves in that scene. Since Smaug makes Drogon look like a pup.
Yeah, I think even George Martin made a note of that. He got a question, could Drogon beat Smaug? And he's like, no.
Smaug is also probably one of the biggest dragons I've ever seen on film.
I would say he is definitely I think he's the biggest since you have like stuff like even in Reign of Fire, like that dragon's not as big as Smaug. Like he's like a bit as big as maybe like a plane, but Smaug's like his wingspan alone is the size of 2 airliner jets.
Actually, the only one I can think that's bigger is the one from How to Train Your Dragon 1. But that one was the size of a fucking country.
Oh, you mean if you also the big giant behemoths?
Yeah.
But they were cool, all right? I like that villain. That was actually a quite funny villain to see.
I control the dragons.
Yeah. He was like, yeah, you go, dude, you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dragonlord.
the Red Death and the Bewilder Beasts from How to Train
But-
Your Dragon 1 and 2. Those are the only ones who give Smaug any competition.
I
Yeah.
must say
Size.
though, How You Tame the Dragon 2, I was really crying when the father of the main
Yeah.
person finally found.
No.
Yeah.
You are as
We need
beautiful
to-
as the moment I lost you. Ah.
Oh god.
I
Ah.
love Gerard
that
Butler.
was-
Gerard
that
Butler's performance in those movies is great.
Yeah.
And
It was so good.
slight connection because Kate Blanchett, Galadriel, also plays Hiccup's mommy.
Huh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
she does.
Yeah.
Nice.
We need to
Yeah,
do it.
but the funniest thing is that Smaug is really tiny compared to someone like Ancalagon.
Yeah, that's because Calagon is cartoonishly enormous.
Yeah.
But
He
you know what the good
doesn't-
thing is
I'm
about...
pretty sure he topples 3 mountains when he dies.
But the
That's
good
some
news,
pretty absurd
the
stuff.
good news about Smog is that he's also intelligent and smart, and he's full of hatred apparently, which is
Yeah.
good. Hatred and greed. That's why I was like, why don't you? They had an awesome booby trap for him, and still, it failed. I wish the booby trap have worked for him, so that he drowned in his greed, and because he was too angry to see the trap, that's why he died. So that would have been so fucking cool.
I think it would have. It would still kind of have made very little sense because it's just like, okay, so how did the physics of this work exactly? Where you have this statue and it's smothering him. How does this work exactly? Like, how is he being submerged in?
Well, you know
that-
how you want to know how heavy gold is.
Well, I
Very
just
heavy.
mean I know,
It
but
is
like,
insane
how is it-
heavy.
I mean, like, how does they have enough volume to cover him?
Well, you have a big giant statues of gold. Apparently,
Yeah, but the pool, I guess you can call it the pool of gold, does not seem very deep.
yeah. If they had made it a little bit more deeper so that the dragon could sink into it, that I think it would have worked. I think it would have worked. It's like quicksand. You're fucked.
Hmm.
And because he is like a dragon without 4 hands, without having forward hands, he would not be able to get out of it manually because he has only wings and feet, so it would be harder for him to get to it.
Which I think is an okay. Like, they originally had designs of him, and even like in Unexpected Journey, the theatrical, they had him as a 4-legged dragon, not a wyvern-style dragon.
I don't mind it being a wyvern
is
style dragon,
interesting.
but you should then at least make sure that because he is a wyvern style dragon, he has different weaknesses.
Hmm. Yeah, I've just noticed like a weird like continuity error between the movies and both versions of the movie, because like in the extended edition of The Unexpected Journey, they fixed it and made it so that Smaug like has just 2 wings and and his feet, but then kind of when you see him break into Erebor, you see his paws claw around and move in, and it's like actual like four claws stuff rather than like his wing claws. It's just kind of
That's confusing.
Yeah, when he first comes into Erebor, one of his feet comes around the corner and claws around the wall,
a gate.
and it's clearly portrayed as him having 4 legs, and one of his 4 legs is clutching the corner, as opposed to in Desolation of Smog, where it's like a Game of Thrones style dragon, where he sort of uses his wing claws as feet, but he only has 2 actual feet.
So why did they do that? Why did they not stay with consistency? Because it's important for consistency to stay in the movie. Otherwise, your story will be less believable. If you have a dragon that is first a wyvern and then suddenly it's a dragon, with 4, it's a wyvern style, and then suddenly it's a dragon style or European style. It's like, what? Because everybody knew that Smog had only, wyvern style, and then, you switch to the other style. It's like, what? I don't know. It's
Yeah,
a
it was
little
kind
bit
of
confusing.
Well, it's kind of like in between. So basically, like in the original, I think in the theatrical cut, like they had a lot. They didn't have very much time to work, so they decided to use a 4-legged dragon. But then they changed it for Desolation, and then they went back and fixed the extended edition of Unexpected to have it line up. But even in the extended, there's still that little visual hiccup.
A lack of prep time. That seems to be a running theme with these movies.
That's probably because Warner Brothers forced this out the door to meet that Christmas release.
Yeah, especially after like Guillermo del Toro did a lot of stuff in a direction that they didn't want.
What do you mean by Guillermo del Toro?
Guillermo del Toro was the original director of these movies, not Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson was just the producer originally.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Guillermo del Toro was supposed to direct 2 movies. There was never supposed to be a 3rd movie, but then he left because of a bunch of reasons, including that he disagreed with the company and the production was being delayed. And so eventually he just left, and while Peter Jackson was already the producer and he'd made the Lord of the Rings films, so pull that in, Peter.
Yeah.
You didn't need it.
There is a great I think the like as compared to like I guess like the production of Star Wars, like Peter Jackson, like the production of the Star Wars sequels is very sanitized, and they remove a lot of things out that would make their production, even though for the ones that did have trouble productions like Force Awakens and Rise of Skywalker, they sanitize the crap out of that to make like, oh, we're having a lovely time. This wasn't heavily studio meddled. The director wasn't tearing out his own hair doing this.
The storyline is totally not rigged, bro.
Or
it's kind of like how Game of Thrones was portrayed before the Dragon Demands came around, and then season 8 came around, and everybody realized collectively that something was very, very wrong.
They use real arrows and they shoot with a real bow. Fucking Jon Snow.
Oh my god!
He was carrying a fucking wooden shield that was made out of almost tin paper, and they were shooting at him with a real fucking bow. Those arrows,
I was there for that. And
I was like,
it was so ridiculous.
How you guys don't have health insurance? Please get that. It's very important.
So Tarek, just for context, as I don't know if you were there, basically what happened was Jon Snow picks up a guy picks up a shield, and another dude is shooting arrows at him.
Right.
And they have enough impact to go straight through the shield at least 5 inches.
Wait. Hold on. 5 inches through a wooden shield.
Yup.
How big was the arrow?
Regular size.
Bullshit.
Maybe it wasn't wood. Maybe
that's
it's
what
like
you get when you use a real bow and a fake shield.
Unless that
because
thing,
we're pretty sure that it's real arrows and a fake shield.
Because that's how you see it. Because the arrowheads were pointed.
How did they must have? I don't know. Like, did it at that speed? It could have gone right through his arm if he didn't get it the right place.
If he had it through his arm, he would be out of the biz for a long time.
they're interesting in terms of they are kind of we're just discussing as part of a series of Lord of the Rings videos. There are some good parts in it. Like I think they are enjoyable as compared to they're at least enjoyable as opposed
The thing
to
is, when you talk about the Hobbit movies being bad, they're bad in a kind of generic sense of the word. Like they're really bloated. The love triangle, the action goes on for way too long. Blah blah blah. It's not like the Star Wars sequels where there is so much that you have to go into to figure out just how bad it is.
Well,
And it's not a reductive exercise in narrative undercutting.
yeah, and it's like
it's
there's a lot of bathos in Lord of the Rings, but it's not like as bad.
it is like that movie that you want to watch 1 or 2 times and then be like, all right, well, that was it.
I don't know. I could see myself watching Hobbit again, like as
I can too. I do like to watch it with friends, like especially like the Battle of the Five Armies extended. Like, are me and Tarek the only ones who have seen it out of this group?
I think so. Yeah, I think I've only seen
I
the
only have seen
theatrical
normal
edition.
version.
Oh my goodness, dude, you're missing out. Honestly,
I've seen a couple of scenes from the extended.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah,
that's it.
Okay, like what? Like the violence in Battle of the Five Armies is kind of like wow.
Like yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, like
I believe
a wolf. One of the wolves like gets caught between some rocks and a scythe chariot wheel and gets turned to bloody paste.
wait, you.
Yeah, like there is like a ridiculous amount of blood and violence and like maiming and decapitation in Battle of Five Armies extended.
Why did I miss that so much? There was that's why it was PG-12, right? The Battle of the Armies.
No, it was R. But Battle of Five Armies extended edition is R rated.
What,
no,
really?
The normal version.
Wow.
Yeah, because like there are like blood splat braying all over the place.
What was it? The Wood Elf King fucking picked up 4 orcs on his fucking deer and then decapitated all 4 at once.
Yeah, that's it. That's in the theatrical.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
That is in the theatrical.
Oh, that should have been one that was saved.
Yeah, they're in both. It's in both.
Yeah, it is in both.
I have missed. All right. The quick question is like, what was the rating for the theatrical version then? 12 PG-12.
I'm
pretty sure it's PG-13.
Yeah,
because I was missing a lot of like I'm used to seeing blood and gore be there, that's the thing, like but in Lord of the Rings there was that decapitation and all that stuff, and now it's like sometimes.
Well, I'm pretty sure all the Lord of the Rings movies are PG-13, even the extended ones.
Yeah, but then for whatever reason, The Hobbit: The Battle of Five Armies extended edition is rated R for violence.
For some reason.
For good reason.
Actually, good reason, because it's like they took a black hose and sprayed it all over the place. Like, I think at one point,
hose.
Yeah,
really?
you remember like those loincloth wearing like twisted up hillbilly trolls? At one point, the dwarves are taking a chariot and they go up a ramp hill, and the scythe wheel chariots, like it manages to perfectly get it so that the scythe wheels crush all of these trolls' heads.
Oh, that's fucking
wow. That sounds
amazing.
Really violent.
Yeah, like it's just perfectly. They line up perfectly and are about to grab it, and then the chariot side wheels just turn their heads to base.
But why is that not in the theatrical version? What?
Because it would
Because
have gained a rated R.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they definitely wanted to keep it family friendly for the Christmas release with the theatrical edition.
I hate it when people do that, you know? If you have like a cool
Yeah.
movie and then it's like, no, we need to tone it down. Why? If you have like this
Yeah.
big bad guy who wants to shoot things and you're saying like, no, he cannot kill.
It's not even like that you can't kill, it's just don't show it violently.
Don't show death to children. That's how dare you.
Well, not even death, like it's just you know what? I need to show that. Like we need to show some of that because that stuff is kind of awesome in terms of like there's an orc that gets his legs cut off by the scythes and he's just walking around on his stumps for like 30 seconds.
Nice.
Yeah, the Dark Knight trilogy is rated PG-13.
Which is kind of wild because there's so many freaking dark things in that movie. Like
Dark Knight.
Yeah, holy
Yeah.
shit! Yeah, no, the whole trilogy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like especially like Dark Knight because we're going to have tryouts, and he just breaks a pool cue, and he just drops it on the ground.
Yeah.
You got the
Or-
guy that he tortured and hung upside down.
Mm-hmm.
We got literal terrorism in there.
That was the interesting part, the terrorism.
Mm-hmm. There was a surprise terrorist attack in Gotham.
Surprise terrorist attack.
Man, you know what? I hate surprises, and that's one of the worst ones.
No, man. We really need new surprise mechanics. You know what?
No. You know what? I completely agree with you. We need more surprise terrorism. I thought that's what you were about to say.
Yeah. And also,
Indeed.
like in the one cool thing about the Battle of the Five Armies is that you get to see the elves and the dwarves fight initially. And like it's actually interesting where the dwarves first charge in with these goats, and then the elves just form a shield wall, and just the goats run up the ramp formed by the shields.
Oh yeah, they did.
Nice.
Yeah. And then like the elves just form kill zones with spears in the middle, in the center, ringing the dwarves with these arrows firing in on all sides. And then like I think like at one point, like in the theatrical, there's a cut where like these elves pull back their arrows and there's no firing, but in the extended you get them firing, and then the chariots from the dwarves charging in and killing a lot of orcs, only to have the chariots toppled.
I always.
Yeah, I think I saw that scene on YouTube or something.
Wait, so they really cut down the arrow part and then be like, you know what? We're gonna show that in the extended version. I always hate that when, you see this archers pulling their arrows and then, 2 minutes later they finally shoot. It's like, really? Now you're shooting?
It is a big really thing because you shouldn't be able to hold back a bowstring for that long without either your arm breaking or the bow breaking.
Oh man, yeah, bows are so exhausting. That's why you use a crossbow instead. They don't require any effort whatsoever. Even a peasant can use it. And I mean that. Peasants can use crossbows. That's what the Ottoman Empire actually did for a long time. Peasants. Whoa.
The peasants.
The filthy peasants.
Yeah, I didn't care for Bard much, the fucking peasant. Wait, Dunn's disappeared.
Wait, did he disappear? Oh no.
Yeah, he is disappeared.
Fuck.
Alright, well, at least, I wanted to tell you this. I missed a lot of violence.
Okay, Johan, give me a moment. Since Dunn is gone, I am now naming myself Captain. You may continue, Mr. Johan.
Alright, let's do this. Well, Captain.
We shall crew him.
Yes, well, Captain, I didn't saw much violence lately, and I was wondering where it all went when I was watching it in the movie theaters. Could you please explain that to me?
You didn't notice a lot of what? I apologize.
A lot of violence, Captain.
I honestly believe a lot of it was cut out. I watched the first time I experienced Battle of the Five Armies was on a plane ride home. Actually, I had 3 hours or 2.5 hours, and I don't recall that much violence.
Kind of like me with E.T.
That was when you saw it on a plane.
Yeah, I saw E.T. on a plane.
I hate E.T. I hate that fucking movie.
Anyway, why?
I just never liked it. I just do not care about E.T.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it's not. I shouldn't say hate. I'm apathetic towards ET actually.
Well, good news, Captain. I actually saw Skull Island on the airplane when I went to Hong Kong. So
I enjoyed that movie. People bitch about that movie way too much. Although I don't know whether or not we should keep it on Lord of the Rings or if we should go on a tangent.
Well, we can also go back to Lord of the Rings.
We don't have our format anymore.
We don't have the former captain. Former.
Well, you know, capsizing and mutiny is always one of your best specialties there, my captain. Anyway,
go on.
This stream is going to be really fun to rewatch.
Yes.
Anyway, Captain. What did you think about the fight in the at the ice place? You know, when the big giant orc was trying to, you know, kill
Thorin.
The Ravenhill fight.
Yes.
Fucking Thorin was a dumbass. Like he just watched as what was his name? I can't remember.
It was Feely who first died.
No, not Feely. I'm talking about when Thorin was fighting the boss orc. I can't remember the boss orc's name.
Why shenanigans?
Azog. The man is the thing is floating under the ice.
That was so stupid.
And I was like, okay, step away. No, he's stabbed in the fucking chest. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like this has to be the weirdest death/murder I have ever seen.
I think he actually lacked combat skills because holy fucking shit, everybody would have expected, you know, him to.
Well, I mean, I get he wouldn't expect he died. I mean, like he wasn't under there very long, but I just want to know what the plan was. Like he's walking with what he assumes to be the corpse, but the man's a trained soldier. You would think that he would know enough to say, okay, I'm within stabbing range. He's probably gonna pop out. I just don't understand why they did it that way rather than have Azog get the upper hand, and then he turns that around as he's dying. He kind of does that when he's stabbed in the chest, in the foot. But I don't understand why we had that whole sequence rather than just cut that out.
They should actually have no offense, Captain, but they actually should have get the combat in, and then, you know, once, you know, Asgard has his upper hand, you know, you see him, you see our hero struggling, and then finally when he tries to desperately attack, he leaves himself open, and then, you know, he gets stabbed. That would have been essentially
that is essentially what happened though. Like if you think about it, he's stabbed in the foot, pulls out of the ice, but the whole ice sequence to me is just one of the weirdest things. Like it's such a weird sequence, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, at least not to me.
Yeah, that scene, it really confused me when I first watched it, because Azog is floating away under the ice, and Thorin is just following along as if expecting him to drown.
Yeah!
And then his head sort of reclines back like he's drowning, and then he comes back in a snapshot. Like, why don't... You could have just stabbed him in the foot. Don't do this weird fake out.
Welcome back, Captain.
I thought you were done for.
He was almost done and out.
Ha, pun.
Yeah. Gotta get those puns in.
Can somebody who's not me share the chariot scene?
I can probably find it.
Yeah, that'd be great. because apparently my computer is crap. Thankfully,
I still love the chariot scene because I love the fact that they're using. No, I mean I love the fact that they're using whetstones as wheels. That is such a dwarf thing to do.
Oh,
yeah, I would agree. I don't know. I think that was like, I don't know whether it's like whetstone as a wheel. I was thinking that he's putting it on it, and just because the wheel construction, like is sparking off. But yeah, that works too.
Yeah.
Just solid stone for wheels.
Unfortunately, I don't have. I am currently single, so there's nobody to do. Unfortunately.
Oh yeah, I am too. So
yeah.
Well, you're not the only one, so
official captain or rebel captain. Depends. Let's go with mercenary captain of my own, like totally loyal brigade aide. Let's go with that. Yeah. I have my own version of the Thousand Swords from First Law.
Wait, did you make a Terry Goodkind reference?
No, Joe Abercrombie.
Okay, when you said First Law, I think, wait a minute, he's not really.
Wizard's First Rule.
Oh, it's First Rule. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wizard's First Rule sucks.
I know.
The show's actually decent. The show's decent. I actually like the show. I think the show's actually legit better than the books, which is like admittedly not hard, but
I was just wondering, like normally you only have this trouble with the GIFs, and now it's like, oh man.
I guess I just can't share anything unless it's
sharing is not allowed. You're not living in Russia. How dare you?
Yeah, I guess it's just like the thing of I just need somebody else to be projectionist because otherwise I get a terrible lag.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I heard the Thorin bit. Yeah, that Thorin bit does not make any sense. And how does he get momentum to pull his way out? How does Azar get momentum to pull his way out of the ice?
Not only that, but orc or not, the shock from that water would have put you out for at least a good 10 minutes.
Oh yes, you get the shock actually could
would probably kill you.
Failure.
Yeah. Only reason why I'm saying it wouldn't is because he is an orc, so that does need to be taken into account here. But at the same time,
let's see. Let's just get to the chariot first. Is it here?
Yeah, right here. Yeah.
Just no sound so that we don't get copyright strikes.
So yeah, this bit, it's just like
that's awesome.
Why are you sharpening your sword on the wheel?
Like I said, I truly do believe it is a whetstone. And if so, that is such a neat idea. I have no idea how useful it would be.
Oh, shit.
And they have a fucking minigun. Where was that on the fields of Pelennor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
also,
man,
these orcs look like they are already.
Wow.
They have fucking.
Wow.
Look at this.
Oh my god. But where was this in the normal movie, man? I missed this so much. Also, fucking Blade Ogre. That's so cool. That's so fucking cool. Why is that missing? That this is such a cool scene. Come on.
Yeah, it is, and it was in the trailer too.
Rapid fire fucking machine guns.
Yeah.
Look how cool it is. The rapid fire crossbow.
Oh, this ice does not make a lot of sense.
No, it does not. It looks kind of like the missing link from Monsters vs. Aliens.
You know what I love? Oh. I forgot about that.
Oh my god.
You know,
What the hell is
you know what else
this?
I love? When they shot that arrow into the giant's hand, right? You could almost see like it was a. Oh, you ever play Time Crisis in the arcades where they have the weak point? You have to shoot
Oh,
that
this
point.
bit. Oh my goodness.
Wait, what?
Oh man. This.
Where did that bridge come from?
I don't know.
He was
It's a
holding it up.
siege bridge. It's probably just a siege bridge. Oh no! Here we go.
Oh, this bit.
That's cool.
And come on, here it is. I believe.
Yeah.
What?
It's just, oh man, he's
Ooh.
having a short cavalry fight.
Here it is.
Oh! Man! This was pretty gory.
That's why I said a wolf gets turned to paste.
And it is amazing.
I love that the chat is going
Nice.
nuts.
But see, the problem is like I felt really disconnected when they went to the ice scene and all the fight to the progression between the fight and the normal pacing. So the pacing was really off in the cinematic version. And this is actually like this explains a lot how they got there, and that's the idea of like how do people get from point A to point B, and that's missing in the original one.
In the theatrical, they don't even explain how they get where they get
Yeah.
those goats from. They just appear out
Yeah.
of nowhere.
And for some
They just
reason,
came
those
out.
goats are not armored like the other goat, like Thorin's
Yeah.
goat is, for whatever reason.
Yeah, goats. Yeah.
You know, it actually makes sense that you would breed giant goats in a mountainous environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
You know that actually people use like
You know it is. You know it's even weirder though. Like in World of Warcraft, they do have the goats as mounts, and I gotta tell you, if you're any other race than a dwarf in that game, you're riding a goat, you look like a fucking tool.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of like an example of like that's what the violence in this movie is like.
When it's allowed to be, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it makes so much more sense than the fucking theatrical version. It looks so much more
Yeah.
polished.
Yeah, the theatrical. Yeah, I like the extended a lot better.
Oh,
than
easily.
The theatrical. The theatrical like has a lot of chunks, though. I'm not sure how to feel about Alfred.
I kind of Alfred was the worm tongue guy, right? Like that was his name.
Yeah, he's.
He was
that guy.
Discount Wormtongue.
Okay,
Yeah.
here's the thing. I kind of like him because they didn't try to play him as though he was a serious villain. He was the comic relief, and the problem is that in The Hobbit, which is taken much less seriously than Lord of the Rings, I think it kind of makes sense, but that cross-dressing gag was fucking bizarre.
Ooh,
It made no
okay,
sense.
so now we need to show his death scene.
That also
Oh, right,
made-
right.
Wait, did he
Alright,
not
I'm
get
gonna find
stoned to
that
death
too.
by a woman? Did he not get stoned to death by women?
No, it was much
no,
dumber.
it's dumber. It's way dumber. It is so dumb. Like literally they transport the missing link into this movie for the sake of a gag, for a Gandalf's staff performing terribly, and like they actually added the theatrical. They cut out the scene where Radagast gives Gandalf his staff, which is so weird.
Why?
I don't know. Yeah, it's originally it's in the extended, but it's not in the theatrical for some reason.
What? That's stupid.
Yeah.
That's
Radagast, you fuck!
Oh, that is so fake.
What is?
the Gandalf leaping out of the way.
Oh
like,
yeah.
It just looks. Just
He's trying to
Oh,
get
my
that
God.
spell off and it doesn't work.
Actually, the only magic he casts in the, I think in the 3 movies is the.
Oh, this.
Oh yeah.
This-
yes.
Yeah, I've
That's
seen this
weird.
before.
It's stupid
Why is Gandalf here?
because
Boom.
now and it activates.
I have.
This is what. How does
What?
that activate
How-
this?
What?
Oh, just-
How does a single coin and how does he die from that?
I love that part because But hold
Yeah,
on, two things. One, the guy really does look like Aaron Hansen, for Christ's sake, from
He kinda
Game
does.
Grumps. He does. Two, how did you notice how thick that
Oh,
coin
shoot.
was?
I think our stream was interrupted apparently. Due to
Oh,
a
no.
copyright match, our stream was interrupted.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
I knew it.
No.
oh, crap.
Shit.
Well, hey, we did not play any movie. We played any songs, so that's good.
Yeah.
Oh well.
I hope.
Pause the video, girl.
Like, are we dead? I wonder.
Let's see if we
The
get.
stream is still unavailable.
Oh,
Yep.
crap! I hate this.
It's
but anyway,
stupid.
While we're here.
Oh, and White's here.
Yeah.
White, you're just in time for the strike.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, Dragon.
What? A dragon? Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see. I would back up.
Fair use has no meaning. No, we're not back up.
No, we are not. We are.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's just
hey, we're
weird
back.
because, like,
Now we're
Like,
back.
since
Okay.
we're not playing the movie.
Back again.
Oh yeah. Woo. That didn't take too long, thankfully. When do we get thrown down? Do we get thrown down just as the movie and just as the video
Yes.
ended? Because
Yes.
that's not showing the entire movie. That's just
Yeah.
We were just doing our thing, we were just showing a
Yeah,
clip.
we're just-
But apparently
we're
we
just-
cannot even show clips
Yeah.
because of Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Greedy
Yeah.
business plan.
Yeah.
Wow, you all are so racist.
But yeah,
We
a
are
single
indeed.
coin should not have triggered that trebuchet.
Yeah. And
Yes.
just having him basically be like a hot dog in the mouth of this troll is so weird.
Have you shown them how fucking absolutely insanely fucking gory that fucking last movie was for
Yeah.
a Lord of the
Yes.
Rings movie?
He just
Yeah.
showed us.
Yeah.
It was way better than the normal version.
Yeah. Yeah. And he just kind of in the original movie he just kind of wanders off probably to get killed by orcs because they're all
Yes.
over the place.
In the real one, he doesn't even have a good death scene.
That was probably one of the weirdest death scenes I've ever seen in a movie because there were several things wrong with that.
Yeah, he's hiding in a catapult.
For
And
some
then he gets
reason.
thrown, and then he gets thrown into the missing link's mouth to a roided up version of the missing link. Pull up the missing link. Somebody pull up a picture of the missing link from what is it? From Monsters vs. Aliens. I'm not crazy to say that looks like the missing link from Monsters vs. Aliens.
But
Missing link.
I must say though,
No comments.
the extended edition explains a lot more of the story, how they got from point A to point B, which makes the movie way better than
Yeah.
the movie that I saw. The movie I saw was really disappointed on story time because it was like, oh, they're now suddenly at the mountaintop, and then they get a fight, and then they have a problem with orcs, and then the big fight happens. So,
Whoever did is either not being paid too much or not enough. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of just and also just I think and also just the whole chariot fight just Yeah, doesn't it look like it?
Oh, him. Yes,
kinda.
I can see him.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That was actually this series of that. The animation series is actually quite fun to watch.
Hmm. I definitely think that like there's a like these movies are kind of just like kind of brainless action, but at least like with the extended, like there's a better point A to point B with the flow of the battle. Though there's a scene that was cut out in all versions of Bilbo planting the acorn in the middle of the in the
Shire?
middle. No, not in the middle of the Shire, in the middle of Dale during the
Oh.
battle,
No.
where it's just like at least like some measure of good.
I mean, I think it's a little out of place to bury it during a battle.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would have
Definitive.
appreciated him planting it at all.
Mhm. Yeah.
Or
So
later on in the battle.
yeah, I think that there's definitely like a lot of good things in this trilogy, but unfortunately, there's a lot of bogging down. It's watchable, but it doesn't quite hit like great. It's just
No.
enjoyable.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think anything you did was ever going to hit the standard Lord of the Rings setup, but it seemed like at the same time I don't think they were really trying to. I don't think when Jackson came in for this, he said, well, I got to match Lord of the Rings. I think he said, you know what? They kind of threw me in here. I'm just going to do the best with what I have.
Which
Well,
is
he
admirable.
has talked about in the Battle of the Five Armies commentary that he was basically winging the whole movie up until the battle itself.
Makes sense.
Lol.
Yeah, I think the major problem is Orlando Bloom.
It's amazing. He can destroy entire movies with his mere presence.
Who is
Yeah.
Orlando Bloom? Please. tell me.
Legolas.
Oh, yes.
yourself
You felt
out.
You
Wow.
really felt out of place in that whole damn movie. Actually,
I don't know. Like, I really don't know if he felt out of place per se, but
He's
Well,
overused.
yeah.
Yes. Like there at one point, I think like you like yo, oh my gosh, when he's being flown around by the bat thing, and then he just like systematically executes like a
He
bunch of
decapitates people like while it's in mid-flight.
Yeah, it's really really ridiculous. It's kind
That's
of
like,
amazing.
here, I'm going to introduce you to my new friends. Oh, damn. Wow, what an asshole that bat was. Just let its friends down.
Yeah. I would strongly disagree with that.
I would very strongly disagree with that as well.
Yeah, it's fine. I think that like Tolkien works very well as a. I think Tolkien like is a good like baseline. I honestly think the Cubic is overrated, based on the little that I've seen.
Full Metal Jacket is a fucking great movie.
I've never seen it.
That's what it. Oh, wait, did you see The Shining?
I haven't seen it. I just think like he's so overhyped at this point. It's just like, okay, you can't quite live up to any of these standards.
Seriously, watch The Shining. Watch Full Metal Jacket. The man was a master at film. He was a master at the craft. He truly was.
Yeah, I've seen in terms of I think that Peter Jackson is pretty much like his three best movies are Lord of the Rings and King Kong. those are pretty much like the best movies that he's made.
Brain Dead is fucking great. Like, again, one of the few movies that nearly made me puke with how gory it is, but it was a good movie.
Yeah, he does. He very much looks like he's not having a good time. Yeah.
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 I'm sorry, Thorpe. You have a picture of Kylo Ren in your profile picture. I cannot take what you're saying seriously.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, Chanthorpe is a he likes TLJ quite a bit, and he's and he very much hates he hates EFAP. How he found me and is subscribed to me is a mystery that will never be solved.
And I doubt he's talking either.
Yeah.
I talk under you, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not your buddy, friend.
I will say that, yeah, Goblin Town
Not
is
your
an interesting
friend,
thing.
buddy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not your buddy, pal.
I'm not your pal, friend. Hey.
But there was a lot to like in these movies, I have to say. Like, there was.
Oh yeah, the action scenes, some of them are really good. Or really funny. You know, it all depends on what you like. But yeah, it was missing some of the main things that Lord of the Rings actually had that made me like, it's less good.
It's kind of a too many cooks in the kitchen type situation where there was a lot of studio meddling. I think like 5 studios were involved in this.
5?
Yeah.
And like one of the issues that actually like made it so that that Warner Brothers had to do 3 movies in order to like make money was they had to do 3 films because most of the profits from the first movie would go to Harvey Weinstein and Saul Vance. And
this was before that whole thing, though.
New Line primarily, but that was for Lord of the Rings. When for The Hobbit, MGM was involved, Saul Vance was involved, Harvey Weinstein was involved.
I'm pretty sure Lord of the Rings, when it first came out, was one of those projects where everybody was like, I don't think they really had faith in Lord of the Rings, the first movie. Like, they threw money at it.
They did not have faith in the first movie.
He got a lot of money off of the first Hobbit movie.
These are the people.
Just the first one.
DM Notes makes a good point, though, about Warner Brothers is run by idiots. I mean, look at their fucking DCEU. Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, have any of you guys seen the Zack Snyder cut trailer?
I have.
I have not.
Yeah. Oh, you should. You should. You
no, I want it to be a surprise. I want it to be a surprise.
You will be hella surprised if you watch the trailer.
Yeah.
Funny, I was watching EFAP's coverage of Man of Steel. I'm like, this movie is not as decent as I remember it to be.
Well,
No,
you guys should all check out the Snyder Cut trailer video on Meme Repository's channel.
Oh wow, that sounds funny. But yeah. I do think, like, overall, I think, like, it suffered from way too many elements being thrown at the wall and not enough time to really develop them. Like, the love triangle was a dumb idea from studio execs that was objectively a reshoot. Character assassination of Saruman.
Wait, why?
Interesting.
How?
How is Saruman character assassinated? He doesn't get that much screen time.
Yeah.
Not at all. He's just there to, do stuff.
The only thing that I can imagine could be construed as a character assassination would be the whole "leave Sauron to me" line, but that's so ambiguous that you can sort of read into it. Okay, Does he mean it? Does he not? Is he being corrupted at this very moment?
How is that? It's a character assassination. Like that doesn't even make any sense. It's kind of like a weird line. Like when I think of character assassination, I think of Daenerys from fucking season 8. Like
Luke in The Last Jedi.
Yes, it's like a very
Palpatine in Rise of Skywalker.
Palpatine in Rise of Skywalker. He is so terrible in that movie. God.
I wouldn't consider
yes, I forgot about Shady Steve.
Yeah.
Almost forgot about him.
We'll move on. Yeah, but
Wait a second. Is he saying that Saruman was character assassinated in Lord of the Rings?
Or The Hobbit? Yeah, that would be a good question because
if it is in the Lord of the Rings, yes, he gets assassinated in the extended edition.
How is he radically altered?
Well, he gets stabbed.
Damn.
Yeah.
They didn't even do the scaring of the sire, so like they ended it in a different way.
In Lord of the Rings.
It's adaptation.
Okay, so it's in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, he gets stabbed by his own
he is quite a bit different in certain scenes than he is in the book, but what in particular, what crucial trait about Saruman is removed or reversed in Lord of the Rings?
Apparently it's that he is a major player, not an underling. He's still a major player in the movie.
He is a major player. He is the catalyst for pretty much everything significant that happens in the first 2 movies. Aside from the ring wraiths.
He's that guy who wants to ask you for dinner and then burns your house down and eats your lemons.
Mm-hmm.
He even raised an army.
Really
he destroyed a fucking forest almost.
Yeah, perhaps you are too much of a purist, Chan. Yeah, it's definitely nowhere near as bad as Denethor.
Yeah, Denethor is very cartoonified and intensified in the movies. They very much ramped him up, and we'll discuss that. Yeah, if you want to be on for the book versus movie discussions, I'd love to have anybody who's read the books on there, so it's not just me and Valerian.
Read that book. I never have read that book.
Yeah,
I think for me.
I think if we're going to go with pros, I would say we have the action is pretty good. I think the acting's good. The attempts to make Bard an actual character, but it doesn't quite work because he's kind of bland.
They kind of tried to do Aragorn again, even though they already did way too much Aragorn with Thorin already.
Yeah, if fucking in the animated, he just appears out of the ether, just kills the dragon. I'm like, oh, okay.
No, he's like, hello there, General Kenobi.
I actually love that Bard looks more like Orlando Bloom than Orlando Bloom does.
He looks like Orlando Bloom in the Pirate. It looks like they somehow cloned Will Turner from Pirates.
Yeah, he does look like that.
Like I said, I thought when I first saw it, I thought Orlando Bloom was pulling a double shift.
Yeah.
I thought he was the same actor.
Yeah. Yeah. Though Mr. Though Luke Evans is a very strong Welsh accent, and Orlando Bloom is a prep school British accent. Yeah. I do think that Thorin Oakenshield stands as the bet. As I think he's probably him and Martin Freeman are the best people to come out of this, as the new elements that weren't moved over from Lord of the Rings.
I agree with that. I thought Thorin, the guy who played Thorin, and Bilbo were probably the top actors in the movie.
Mm-hmm. That actually would be, and well, he actually has. He played the Duke of Buckingham in the Paul W.S. Anderson Three Musketeers movie.
Did he really?
Really?
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
my
Huh.
gosh.
Oh, that's that guy then. Ah,
Yeah.
nice. And that
Yeah.
was actually also a lovely movie to watch, The Three Musketeers.
Yeah, it's kind of
It's fun.
like yeah, it's fun. It's definitely like steampunky. It's definitely weird steampunky, but it's kind of just like, you know what? This is fun.
You
It's
just you don't need to take it seriously. You just need to take it like the Three Musketeers kind of seriously.
yeah.
Which the older version of it was actually also focused on humor, if I believe.
Mhm. Yeah. I think like now I think the Balin and Dwalin are pretty good. They don't really get enough time. I think like the problem is just there are too many dwarves, and they all.
Well, there's
get kind
13 of the
Yeah,
fuckers.
there's
There's
13. They
13.
kind of get lost in the shuffle. I think I don't know whether it would have been better to kind of make it like so that they blend more into the background, or they just killed some off sporadically, or if they lowered the number from the beginning to the ones that were important.
I would say lower it down to 6 dwarves would actually be quite nice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to say we have 4 really important ones, and then we have everyone else is sort of just in the background, and they do something interesting from time to time.
Yeah, fair
Help with the
enough.
luggage or something like that.
We might be, but I don't really see any reason not to be.
We can have we can have the talk about homesickness with Bilbo in the cave and
Yeah,
similar things. That's fine.
yeah, I think that part's really good. I think that part is a good moment, though it kind of just gets dropped as an element.
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of stuff is sacrificed eventually for Thorin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he becomes the main character in a way. I'm not kidding either. Like, seriously.
Yeah, he kind of does.
He does. Oh, I was thinking this one. It's just like, yeah, I can see why a lot of people really don't like the Paul W.S. Anderson movie. Though I really like the Musketeers TV show on BBC. Chef's kiss, pretty good, pretty good stuff. But yeah, I think Thorin definitely becomes the main character, and Bilbo becomes the side character.
Yeah, Bilbo becomes quite the side character, quite the passenger in his own movie.
Yeah, like I think they actually included the Sleeping River in the extended edition, which like kind of becomes kind of a plot point in the books, but it's kind of it's a side tangent in the movie that just kind of like it's a one-time obstacle that just got thrown out. Like just was thrown out there, it happens, and then nothing else, and then you get Legolas popping in, and Orlando Bloom looks like he's aged quite a bit.
He was like, 20 when that movie came out? The man's now 44.
Yeah, he's aged. Yeah, he definitely aged. Like he's actually older than Lee Pace, the guy playing Thranduil. His dad.
Yes, that's really funny.
Well, he is. Well, isn't Legolas a half elf? Seriously?
No,
he isn't.
He's not.
He's
full-blooded elf.
Yeah, Elrond's the half elf.
Wait,
Yeah.
Elrond's the half elf. Damn half breeds.
Yeah, yeah. But I think like Thranduil also. Would you say that Thranduil's like pretty well characterized?
I like Thranduil.
I like him, but I can't say I really learned anything about him.
Yeah, other than he fought dragons in his youth and he lost his wife in Angmar, which was
and also he's obsessed with these. Also, he is apparently a very petty man. A dwarf spites him, and then he just says, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
And he fucking sacrifices his people for some diamonds, and then he's like, "Nah, nah, not anymore."
Yeah, so there's actually another little scene that's like 5 seconds long where Gandalf said, "Your wife didn't only leave you those
Yes.
jewels."
Yes, that should have been
Well,
kept.
Yeah, she left you a son as well. So it's kind of weird. The one funny thing about it is Thranduil's elk was actually played by a giant Shire horse named. It's the biggest Shire horse in New Zealand, and the horse's name was Moose.
Wait, what?
No, ironically, and he like crapped everywhere and kept like shifting out of the way. And
Wow.
yeah, and just shifting like around, and even like turned all the way around so that his butt was facing Thor. Richard Armitage. Yeah. That is, yeah. The new that would be interesting, though. You would be going off of minimal source material with that. Who here is
that was
familiar with what that is?
Hey, I
That-
mean, the Long Night was a thing for a minute at least, so you know.
was it the Long Shadow the supposed sequel that Tolkien was writing but then stopped halfway, like not even
Yeah,
halfway?
the new Shadow.
Yep.
Supposed to
that is-
star
that is correct.
Aragorn's son.
Mm-hmm. And apparently, basically, it's like basically humanity is kind of going back to Numenor,
Yeah.
That could be interesting, actually.
where it's like there's like little orc, like Sauron or orc worshipping cults.
Which
That
makes
is
sense.
pretty
You
good.
would have
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I would be interested to do that, but they're not. They're not going to do that at the moment since they're doing the Alcalabeth, which is the story of Numenor, which is probably going to be.
Oh wait,
Lord
that
of the
is what
Rings
they're
that-
doing? Is that what they're
Apparent-
doing?
Well, that's the strongest rumor at the moment.
Well, the only thing that I've heard for sure is that it's going to feature Sauron.
Yeah, so
Gotta
Like it-
get those nostalgia points in, don't they?
yeah, my assumption is that it's the Alcalabeth because I doubt that they're going to do the Ainulindale, where basically it's the creation myth.
Yeah, that's probably a bit too weird and out there for
I'm a little bit
modern audience.
sketchy on it. Like, I think we should still be worried about that. They might.
Yeah, it does seem like there's a lot of problems happening behind the scenes with that, even from what they've let out, which seems really crazy. Like where they rolled over they fired their entire writing staff, including the Tolkien expert, and they've hired an intimacy coordinator for some reason because
we don't know what constraint is.
It's gonna be a fucking trash fire of our future.
Well, it's just gonna be like Star Wars. It's gonna be.
What if
I vaguely hope that these people have been looking at way too much Sauron Morgoth fan art.
Oh my goodness! That would be
though. Everybody, everybody thinks they're trying to copy Game of Thrones. I really think what they're going to try and do is copy The Witcher.
You know what? That is actually
that sounds very likely, actually.
That you know what? Yeah, because The Witcher was relatively low budget, didn't have a whole lot of thing, but there was a heck of a lot of nudity in that show.
Well, apparently there is a lot in The Witcher 2. In fact, I think the first scene in The Witcher 3 is Geralt bathing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I think that kind of goes with all the pros. I think Thorin's arc, I think it's mainly they had it and they were so close, but then they kind of just missed it ever so slightly by the fact that there was so much other things going on. It was so close. But also there's also the other bad stuff, like Alfred licks Spittles, kind of pointless.
Don't know. I liked him. I don't think he
I-
added anything, but I think he was a pro.
He was okay. So he's at least entertaining, and his death scene's ridiculous and hilarious.
Yeah.
What are your guys' thoughts on the love triangle? I personally I don't.
No, thank you.
Fuck it. Fuck the love triangle.
My biggest issue with the love triangle is that they turn Legolas into a fucking simp.
I know it's known
It
for
feels-
sex stuff, but
It felt so fucking forced.
oh gosh, are we adding
I was cringing
bestiality
myself
into
into a
this?
fucking
Are we going to
corner.
add bestiality into this whole thing where Morgoth is having sex with a spider?
I
Well,
mean,
Morgoth,
I don't know about that,
Morgoth
but, you
is
know.
captured and thrown into the void at the end of the first stage, so he's not going to be in the show.
Hey.
Then again, the Shadow of Mordor game turned Shelob into a sexy lady.
Well, that's why it wasn't bestiality. She clearly
Hey.
can become a sexy lady.
What are you guys against that so much, huh?
I was still wondering, like, why is it a spider in Lord of the Rings movies, and then when you realize, like, in the lore, it's like somehow it's now a lady. What?
Well, in the lore, she's not a lady; she is just a giant spider.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. There's also
Warner Brothers.
Thrain is. I think that Thrain is also an example of like a con. And maybe like the con only comes in with the extended edition because the whole scene of like him and Dol Guldur with Gandalf is completely cut out in the theatrical. It doesn't exist.
Honestly, I'd say it's better for it.
Yeah, since one weird thing is that Thrain in Unexpected Journey does not look like the actor playing him in Desolation at all. And he, like, one weird thing is that the actor playing him in Desolation has an eye, but in Unexpected Journey, he is missing an eye pretty, like, substantially. Like, it just looks like he doesn't have an eye in Unexpected Journey, and then somehow he developed Wolverine genes and regrew it in Desolation.
Well, you know, the dark side believes many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
Yeah.
It's a myth.
Yeah. I do think the one thing about it is just the love triangle. Like, I think one part of it, like, that is kind of weird is the fact that, like, Legolas and Tariel run up to Gundabad and then come back.
Like, how far away is Gundabad from Erebor?
I'm
pretty sure it's really long.
It's like 20 miles at least. It's a long, long way. It is a long. It's not quite as far as Mirkwood to Rudar, which is across the Misty Mountains, where Gandalf like goes from the edge of Mirkwood all the way back around to near Rivendell.
Oh, there's another pro. The fucking soundtrack and like
the soundtrack's great. Yeah, the soundtracks are great.
The
Misty Mountains soundtrack is awesome.
That is.
I really don't know. Oh, 200 miles? Wow. Dang, that's a fast endurance horse.
Also, quick question. I know that this might be very forgettable, but what was the wereman doing actually in the story? Because I have no idea. Yeah, the wereman, the man of the forest, the guy who could turn into a werewolf thing, kind of.
A bear.
Thing.
He could turn into a bear.
Yeah, the man bear. Man bear
pig. I think he's just kind of there as kind of a way stop to protect the dwarves from the orcs.
That's all.
And then he comes back at the end of the Battle of Five Armies just to Hulk out and kill a bunch of orcs.
That's stupid.
He dropped in like a fucking bomb.
He did. It's just bear bomb.
Yeah.
Like every time I fucking watch The Lord of the Rings.
Holy shit!
Huh?
What?
The Hobbit. I mean.
No, I'm looking at a map showing
Bilbo's journey.
Erebor. No, not Bilbo's journey, but in order to get from Erebor to Mount Gundabad, you had to go north, then turn west, cross all of Mirkwood or the top of Mirkwood. Like you have to cross the entire width of Mirkwood essentially. Then get into the Grey Mountains, go for however many miles to Gundabad, and then back.
Well, you see, they had Varys's jetpack, so it makes sense.
I think I'll just share my screen for that.
You know what could save them a lot of time travel? Magic.
No, the Eagles. That would have saved them all the time.
Or just not have that scene.
Why don't you use the eagles to toss the ring into the fire, you dummy? Nah.
Okay, here's the map.
That doesn't work.
Wow. Oh my, wow.
Yeah. I know why it doesn't work. So
that's an impressive distance.
That's a big distance.
I've seen season 7, episode 6. Time and space is subjective. Is what I've learned.
And so are nerfs and buffs on the auto cannons and auto ballistas. You know,
or when
you mean railguns.
The railgun snipers.
Or when Legolas gives the direct middle finger to physics and goes up the falling rocks like he's in a Mario game.
That was amazing.
That's the exact analogy I wanted to make. It's just like a Mario game.
No, actually, what's funny is in a Mario game you can't even do that because you would fall into the level.
Mm-hmm.
Aww.
No, there are several times when we have things falling in Mario that he stands on and he can still jump off of it.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and then he just fights Bolg. And it's just both are kind of shoehorned in characters, even though Bolg in the book is the original big bad.
Yeah.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the book there is only one orc army, and the one who's leading it is Bolg, because Azog died long before the story starts.
Well, that explains why he's such a fucking retard, and that's he should have died, definitely.
Yeah.
So
and originally, they weren't going to do the design for Bolg that you see in the movie. They were actually going to go with something very different. The original Bolg design was like this giant pale orc. Like you actually see him in Dol Guldur. He's the guy who messes around with Gandalf, and that Galadriel turns into bones.
Just fucking incinerates. I'm like, holy fuck! I never see, because they cut so out. You never see that scene in the theatrical.
Yeah, where he's about to chop off Gandalf's fingers to get the ring, the Elven Ring of Power.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And fucking Galadriel just comes out and just fucking vaporizes his dumbass.
Mm-hmm.
Laser beam.
Yeah, but in there was even a prop weapon made for this character, and an actor cast named Conan Stevens who plays the mountain that rides in Game of Thrones season 1.
Oh, the Conan. I see what they did there. Conan.
Yeah.
Fucking huge.
Where he's just this literally this guy is 7'2" and he's built like the proverbial brick outhouse.
Nice.
But
I'll just quickly share my screen here.
He is
Chrome.
Rides.
Mm-hmm.
This is the guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, I think I would have taken this guy over the design that they actually ended up with.
Yeah, look up a full version of what he looks like.
He looks way more scarier than the big bad evil guy of the movie.
And originally it was practical, and they didn't need to do they needed to do CGI for Azog and Bolg. First with Azog because they wanted to kind of experiment and they needed something big. But with Bolg, they just cast a big ass actor.
Yeah, I mean, I wish they wouldn't have used so much fucking CGI in these movies.
It was definitely noticeable.
It was very noticeable, yeah.
And originally, Azog was in the Mirkwood attack at the barrel scene, but then they decided to replace it with Bolg, and they just had to make Bolg just ever so slightly bigger than Azog.
Oh yeah,
So
because
that
like
they
in the
would-
trailers, you can see Azog in like in certain scenes where he wasn't in the actual movies.
Yeah, several times.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like
It's like
I
he's
think
using teleportation magic. Oh.
like in Battle of the Five Armies trailer, like he's standing like on this ledge, holding up like his mace and his like tweezer arm.
Two tweezer.
Yeah. This guy. Yeah.
That looks like an orc to me.
Yeah. Like and it's interesting because he gets like this metal, and originally there was even like a thing in the Tolkien Wikia that said like Bolg is the main torturer of Dol Guldur, and like he's in command of Dol Guldur, whereas Azog's like out in the field. But then they just did nothing with it, and it just went to nothing. It was just weird for me to like look at that, and it was just really weird for me when I saw that.
But at least this guy looks scary, you know, not the CGI guy. That CGI guy was not scary at all.
Yeah, he just kind of looks like a like kind of an alien mook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he does.
So
Just
I think that kind of concludes things in terms of like our analysis. If you guys want to ask us any questions, go for it.
Did I miss it? I missed because I came in an hour and 30 minutes in.
No, you didn't miss
What did
anything.
you already talk about?
Pretty much we've already talked about like the bloody action, the Thorin's character arc, kind of like it's got some good things, but it's not like
It's not as polished as Lord of the Rings was.
Just in case you guys forgot, I've just shared the original the final bulk design.
Which
What is that? The final? Wow, that
That
looks
is
so.
the final design.
That looks so bad.
Yeah.
I rather prefer the orc makeup guy than this CGI nonsense of a bulk.
Mm-hmm.
That one
Yeah,
looks ugly.
Yeah.
It's not a real bulk.
Super Saiyan Galadriel.
That confused me. I even asked Dunn about that when we saw it. Like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, I don't even know what the thinking was behind it. I think that it was kind of just like it's like even like in the Legendarium, Galadriel is immensely powerful because she is thousands and thousands of years old.
That's the meme. She's older than the moon.
Yeah. Yeah, literally the moon came into existence after she was born.
What? That's an old bitch.
Yeah. And she still looks really, really good.
That's
Yeah.
the
I
thing
mean,
about
it's
elves.
Kate Blanchett.
They're
Of
not
course she
overaged.
does.
Mm-hmm. I think what's a question? Okay. I think, but like to answer that question, it's weird because you could say that like that's her natural power and that she shows that when the like when like the ring comes near her, like she kind of demonstrates the power that she already has. And even in the book, she tears down Dol Guldur with her magic in the appendices by herself. Like I don't know how, but she like it just says that she tore down the walls of Dol Guldur.
It's like she just got down with her hands and like just start pounding fucking
No, just one punching it, like, you know, one tick, like tick, and then
One
everything goes away.
punch.
She
Just one
she
punch,
storm bent it. The
One
epic
point
love
rule.
triangle story. I like the scene in the dungeon where Keely and Tariel are talking. I think that's actually like pretty good. But I would have much preferred if it was just their friends.
You know, actually, it's funny. Those two, when they have time to breathe, have an interesting chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
They really do, like far more than her simp Legolas with her. But
I think that's probably because Legolas is not that Orlando Bloom is not as good an actor as Aidan Turner.
I think it's because Orlando Bloom didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Of course, I answered it. I opened it up for you guys.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That's kind of the only that's the main. The weirdest part is that they decided to split them up like partway through the Battle of Five Armies.
Yeah.
They don't meet up again, which is kind of just a strange decision.
But it's a very strange set of movies.
Yeah, especially just they decided we are going to make this extended edition like R-rated as heck. I haven't done an R-rated movie in a long time. I am going to unleash with this movie.
You will bring down the heavens' wrath. Like holy shit.
Yeah.
I was I was pretty fucking surprised when I first saw that. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
that caught me completely off guard. You would never expect that from a Jackson Lord of the Rings movie. I'm like, what?
Where I think that the first time was when Galadriel turned the dude to bones.
I'm pretty sure you still have that recorded. I hope you have that saved somewhere.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, I do have it saved.
You don't just lose another recording because you fucking
forgot to download.
You kind of forgot to download, yeah.
Well, Dunn kind of forgot about the download, and the White Dragon. He certainly hasn't forgotten about him.
Yeah,
we kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet, so.
That still stings. That
well, it's still stupid, so.
Oh, I have that clip.
Of course,
actually.
it stings.
Oh,
I actually have that clip.
Please don't.
Fuck you! Don't you dare, you asshole!
Do it.
You will crash. You will crash. Don't do it.
I will. You think this is the end? You think Kirk Cameron's fucking saving Christmas, huh? I will fucking burn you. Well, unless you're hiding behind a small rock, but besides that, I will fucking burn you.
Oh man, saving Christmas.
Danny kind of forgot about the Iron Fleet and Euron's forces. They certainly haven't forgotten about her.
Oh my god. Whatever made him think that was a good idea?
Binging / watching. Survivor. I've actually been binge watching Survivor.
I was watching. Go ahead, White, you first.
I have seen Overlord. Hey.
I have been binging fucking Survive, this absolute train wreck of a season 8.
Yeah.
I was watching Disenchantment. I finally finished that.
That's a lovely series.
I like it. Like, it grew on me.
Oh yeah, didn't we want to see that fucking that Disney TV show? Fucking
which
WandaVision?
Huh?
WandaVision?
The fucking it was like where all the Disney princesses and shit. They're like fucking, you know, the one with the weird Excalibur, the really dumb looking sword.
Once Upon a Time, yeah.
Because it was kind of memey looking, so like, oh no.
We don't talk about that.
Now I need to find something else to watch though, because Disenchantment's over.
Well,
you could watch Dragon Prince. That's a really good one. If you ever want to
I just barely got finished with binging Marco Polo, but it's just I was like, that's where season 2 ends, and that's where it got canceled. Sawed off Netflix.
Oh
So
my goodness!
and,
There's
like,
this one fucking minute.
Remember Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance?
Oh, yes, sawed off Netflix. Sawed off Netflix. Like, sawed off Netflix, sawed off for Altered Carbon, Marco Polo, and Dark Crystal.
I think I'm just
Sawed
gonna
off
go.
all 3 of those.
I think I'm just gonna go back to binge watching the Top Gear on Amazon, like from the 2000s. That was a great show.
Well, the new Top Gear is
Well,
really
the new Top
meh.
Gear is trash, but I'm
Yeah,
talking about the
really
ones from
meh.
like the early 2000s.
Yeah, that one is awesome. Top
Oh,
Gear,
yeah.
the old Top Gear is actually really good.
Oh my
They had
goodness!
good chemistry with
Oh.
with each other. It's a shame that they quit. Or well,
No, they
not
were
quit,
fired.
but They were
I
fired.
know
yeah.
you guys probably never seen Batwoman season 2, but oh my
No,
goodness, there was this
no.
one fucking scene in the 3rd episode where this guy just pulls the rocket launcher out of his fucking desk, and it's fucking.
I saw that. I
hilarious.
saw the E EFAP.
I know.
Wait,
I saw
what?
that scene before EFAP covered it. I'm like, oh my god, I cannot wait for them to see
Wait,
this.
what scene?
If you ever want to watch full
Some
cringe,
guy pulls out a rocket
I have seen it
launcher.
all. So.
It's like he pulls it out of his fucking desk. It's like, yeah, I have this rocket launcher here.
Oh,
for some
Victor
reason.
Zsasz.
Uh,
Yeah,
Victor
I've seen
Zsasz?
that.
Wait,
Oh my
Richard Zsasz has a rocket launcher that he pulls out of his desk.
Yes.
Apparently.
Yep.
He's like, I keep this right next to the alcohol or something.
Just,
it's just a Russian RPG.
Oh my gosh, I've seen those tested on Deadliest Warrior. Like, that is just why? Why would you have those things have limited applicability use. Those are usually like anti-tank or anti-squad.
Oh no, it's in a fucking building. It's like he tries to kill Batwoman with it, like inside the building. It's like, these people think a Desert Eagle can shoot through anything, so I wouldn't be surprised. They don't know jack shit about anything.
Apart from a cloak.
A White Dragon, it can never get as bad as fucking She-Ra
I
on
don't.
Netflix.
Wow, She-Ra's worse than Batwoman? That's impressive.
Yeah, the story is horribly written.
Send me a link. I want to see something totally awful.
Well, I guess
that's hilarious.
Like if you're looking for, I'd honestly like to do, since there's only like 20 episodes of Marco Polo, I'd kind of like to see some people's reaction, like see if their reaction to the end was similar to mine, because I really got engaged with that show and I thought, okay, this season it's got a really satisfying ending, cool. And then there's this, wait, you're doing a cliffhanger and there's only 2 seasons and they canceled it. You're doing this cliffhanger. You're doing this particular cliffhanger. Really?
Yes.
What? It's just,
dun, dun, dun.
yeah, literally, like, just. I was just so angry. I was so angry.
Well, you know.
I would never be as angry as the way they ended Game of Thrones, so.
I will not be as angry as how they ended with She-Ra. Fuck that. That was literally the worst case scenario of my god.
I will never be as filled with contempt as I was when I walked out of Rise of Skywalker.
I was just brain dead. My brain hurt. Like I had a migraine after watching that movie.
I have not seen it. Thankfully.
Yeah, I refused to watch Rise of Skywalker in the theater, and I watched people like talk about the leaks, and I'm like, they can't be serious. And then
they were
meme.
And then I think I actually read to my girlfriend at the time, like who's a big Star Wars fan, and like I read the leaks to her, and she was screaming in fury. Like over Skype when we were just
I am all the Sith. I am all the Jedi.
No, that was not in the leaks, actually.
No, Kylo just fell down a hole and they forgot about him.
Honestly,
kinda
they should have
forgot about
kept
Kylo.
they should have kept it that way in the film.
I still like that impression when they are all like, which one was it? I believe it was from Critical Thinker. When they all like describe your impression without saying a word. How
No,
you
that was
found about
Mauler.
Horizon.
That was Mauler.
That was more. It's like
Oh.
instantly boss music from Dark Soul.
Oh, this freaking Turf Nation
So
video, fucking saying like how great the Rise of Skywalker
Oh
is.
yeah, I
And,
saw
and
it.
he's like, yeah, it was like, yeah, he was like fucking, what was it? The Palpatine coming back? Well, that doesn't matter. The plot hole doesn't matter.
I finally watched it. I finally watched it with my family, and I was just like, this movie is so stupid.
Oh my god!
Okay,
done.
so
I
here's
couldn't talk it,
here's
and I
an
couldn't
anecdote about
and-
my experience.
Well, me first, and then you, and I'll be short. But my family liked it, specifically my sisters, and I was just seething inside. It's just, why do you like this movie? This movie is so stupid. And I was just having to like clench my teeth and just like scream internally that this is stupid. Why is this?
Most people are casuals and don't really put too much thought into anything.
Fucking
So
casuals.
what happened to me was that I didn't really like TLJ that much.
Oh my god!
I had actually been pulled in by the Jedi Mind Tricks in TFA, but then I wasn't the biggest fan of TLJ, and then all the Mauler stuff happened, and I got into that community, and
now you
yeah,
hate women, right?
yeah, and I also realized that TLJ was a piece of shit, and so I watched both Southpaw and Mauler's podcasts go through the leaks, and I was like, no, there is no fucking way. And then that one clip of Kylo meeting Palpatine for the first time, well, quote unquote first time, surfaced on the internet, which pretty much confirmed all the leaks.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, no. And I wasn't actually planning to watch it, but I'd been away from home for several months, and my family called and was like, oh, hey, you want to see this? And I didn't want to explain why I didn't, so I just said yes. Yeah, it was a nice day. Shopping some Christmas gifts, and then we walked in, and I saw the title coming up. Oh, okay, this is cinematic experience with my family. This might be fine. Then I read the first 3 words of the opening crawl, and I started laughing.
Hey, Dunn, did you see this video already?
Yeah.
Laughing. Yeah.
Of this series, which will really show exactly why Season 8 is actually a brilliant conclusion, we will examine the character arcs for the 16 major characters who appear in Season 8. Without any further ado, let us end this video here. I'm Remarkable Republican, bringing you the truth with truth-flavored bias, and I will be seeing you very soon to talk more about Season 8 of Game of Thrones.
Fucking worthless, holy shit. Oh my god.
Well,
like
so
just
this will be broken up into two pieces, and I'll just re-release them with the Hobbit discussion being one video, and then our reaction to Remarkable Republican being a separate thing altogether.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, because but yeah, we will do that tomorrow for craps and giggles, because we need something to laugh at.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. But I think that we will conclude the stream there. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate all of you coming on. Tomorrow we will do the Remarkable Republican debate with Shad, and we'll just do his Game of Thrones defense videos probably next week sometime, maybe like Tuesday or something.
I would say we could just take a break and Fire King like Kill Dragon, just fucking go with it.
Yeah, let's do that. We can do that. I think that would
It's
probably
also
work.
Game of Thrones related, and that's something far more interesting and
Yeah.
engaging.
Yeah. Though I wonder what the next. Let me actually look what the next chapter is, just to get an idea of what we're dealing with.
Well, let me guess. It's going to be the start of season 6, right?
More bullshit.
No, it's the start of season 7. Sorry.
Oh.
What am I talking about?
It's all shows must die, and when is the right time to end the story?
And it died. It did.